Will the market go up or down? Should you lock in or float? Find out this and more with Master of the Markets, hosted by Barry Habib of MBS Highway. Brought to you by Paramount Residential Mortgage Group.
In today's mortgage environment, providing our wholesale community with the best combination of product, pricing, technology, and service is paramount to their success. PRMG, built by originators for originators.
Welcome to another edition of Master of the Markets. I'm Barry Habib at MBS Highway. This is created exclusively for Mortgage News Network and brought to you by our friends at PRMG. They're working for your best interest. So this week is a shortened week, of course. Hope you guys had a great holiday weekend, a great Memorial Day weekend, and take a moment to thank those who have served, who are serving currently. We sure do owe them a big debt of gratitude. With regards to the markets this week, you know what? It's going to be pretty active after some quiet news weeks. There will be a lot of market moving news this week. We start with housing data, which is always important, and I think that when we take a look at the housing data this week, one of my favorite reports, pending home sales, which will be more of a finger on the pulse. It's a more current report. It tells us what signed contracts on existing homes are. So existing homes make up 90% of the marketplace, and signed contracts really takes into consideration the recent rise that we've had in interest rates and seeing if that deters anybody. So this is a very big number and important number. Now, while that is important to us and important for us to break down, and we'll do that for you, what's really important for the markets and for interest rates will be the big jobs number and the big inflation report. We're getting both this week. The personal consumption expenditure, also known as PCE, is the Fed's favorite measure of inflation, and that's been on the rise. So we'll have to take a look if that continues to rise because that can adversely impact interest rates and bond pricing. With respect to the jobs number, well, you know every month the big jobs report can certainly impact interest rates, and I want you to pay close attention to the results we get on the hourly and weekly earnings because, again, that's another inflation component, and we all know that inflation is the arch enemy of interest rates. Now, I want to take a look back to some of the things that occurred last week because they just underscore the strength that we're seeing in the housing market. And here is something that you really need to talk about with your customers as a true professional and advisor, is that yes, interest rates have gone up, and while that will make your monthly payments are, while that could potentially be something that is a negative, what I want you to think about is how it is so dwarfed by the gain that you receive in appreciation, in amortization, and in some cases even if there could be a tax benefit, you put it all together and it becomes just incredibly powerful to show that, hey, this 0.25%, 1/8 of a percent, or if you compare this year to last year, it's actually 5/8 of a percent higher in interest rate. There's a couple of things you need to look at. One is where rates are now may not be as good as they were a year ago, but they're probably going to be better than they will be a year from now. So just think about that, number one. Number two, when you look at the small increases that you've seen in rate, I know to us it seems monumental, but whether it's a 0.25% or so, you start to break that down. On a $300,000 loan, you start to think about what that might mean to you. Break it down weekly for your customer, because on a $300,000 loan, when you start to take a look at that, it's less than $10 a week. It's $8 or $9 a week. That's not even taking into consideration if there's a tax benefit. But the question I have for you is, would $8 or $9 a week have any bearing whatsoever on any financial decision you were making or any buying decision? Would you even be able to feel $8 a week, $1.10 or $1.20 a day? Could you imagine that having any bearing at all? So if it's truly, truly meaningless, why would customers put so much emphasis on it and worry that now I'm not going to buy a home? So for $1.10 a day, you're going to miss out on literally hundreds of thousands of dollars of gain between appreciation, amortization. It's and locking in gains that you would not be able to get anywhere else. I think you need to illustrate this, and we have some great tools via the real estate report card and buy versus rent that you seriously have to look at to beat your competition. So once again, as an advisor, I want you to take a look at the opportunity that exists in real estate. Look, if we look at last week's numbers on mortgage applications, they came in higher on purchases year over year, 3% higher. That's with inventory declining about 8% and interest rates being 5/8 higher. There's a lot of strength, and we're upgrading our forecasts on appreciation, and so are others. The forecasted appreciation levels are increasing on a go-forward basis. This is a real opportunity you need to get involved with, and you may as well get involved with MBS Highway as well, because we'll help you illustrate that, we'll help you articulate that, and help you be that advisor that your realtors desperately need and that your customers count on. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
PRMG continues to provide our wholesale partners across the nation with better technology, better product, better pricing, and better service. Our nationally recognized brand is more than just an image. It is a symbol of integrity. PRMG, built by originators for originators. Be sure to click on the link below for your free 30-day MBS Highway trial.
This is Mortgage News Network.